finally it's happening, and we are here on Zoom. First time that I'm hosting an interview via Zoom. Normally, I would go to the place of the person I'm featuring for the channel, but this is the first time, and I understand how difficult it is to arrange a schedule since you are busy with considering all the festivals going on right now. So, but anyway, welcome to my channel.
Thank you so much, Ina, for having me. I really, really appreciate the support.
Yes, and Aileen has been a long time, how do you call that? Friend since 2008, I think.
Yes, you're really good friends with my cousin.
Yes.
Did you know each other in the Philippines, or?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
Before we got here, especially Shanna and I, we've been friends since 1998, I think, or 1999. We work in the same radio station, yeah. But anyway, so such a small world. But I'm so happy, and I'm so honored to have director Eileen Cabiling. Yay! So by the way, so the reason why I am putting you here in my channel is because of the current milestone or achievement of yours as a screenwriter, as a director, and you have something to promote. But before going there, we would like to know who is director Aileen Cabiling. Could you let us know, like, where you came from? Like, were you born and raised here or in the Philippines?
Oh, well, I'm a dual citizen of the Philippines and the United States, but I was born here. I was born and raised here in the United States, on the East Coast in Richmond.
Oh,
Yes. My parents immigrated from the Philippines, so I'm, I guess, second generation Filipino. But I, was granted the dual citizenship as well with the Philippines. And yeah, my parents, they came here for the American dream, worked
mhm.
really hard. They came as medical students, and I have three sisters, and my family over the years, as you know, like Cienna and Palms, are immigrated here. So I had very much the immigrant experience.
Mm. So
um,
you came from the East Coast. When did you move here to LA?
I moved to LA in 2000. Yeah. So before that, I was living in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I had gone to school there in New York, and was working in New York. Um,
Mm.
so I worked in production, in film production. I was a production coordinator, and I also assisted some directors and some producers,
I see.
kind of in the indie film world. And then I started working like in animation for like Nickelodeon, and
Mhm.
as a supervisor, and then eventually became a writer for animation. So I wrote for Winnie the Pooh here in LA
Mhm.
for like 7 years. I worked for Walt Disney Studios as a
Oh,
writer.
great.
Yeah, and
Oh,
but I
great.
always wanted to make my own films. And as you know, as a Fil-Am, it was a really hard sell because
Mm.
there are no Fil-Am shows on the
Yeah.
TV or in the movies. Although that's changing. So
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
yeah,
So prior to you working for the production and stuff, what did you take up in college? So you took up film in New York?
no, well, I was a pre-med student.
Oh.
Yeah, because I come from doctor family, so
Mm-hmm.
kind of all I knew. But I was always wrote for the school paper in high school, and I was always a photojournalist, and I was also a dancer. So I studied a lot of
Ah.
contemporary dance, and then I filmed dance, and I just loved photography.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so eventually I went to film school for graduate school. I went to American Film Institute here in Los Angeles,
Wow.
which is
From med to film. Wow.
yeah.
Has it ever been your dream? Like when you were a child, what was your dream when you were a child?
I think my dream was to tell stories
Mm-hmm.
because I always loved writing stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I always loved with my sisters and my cousin. I always loved organizing shows and making shows for my family and choreographing dances. And I had a Polaroid camera and I loved taking pictures,
Uh-huh.
different things, and then lining them up on the wall. And
Oh,
my mom and my dad loved movies. They loved movies.
I
Yeah.
see. So different influences. And I think when you were working in here in LA for the Disney, what
Mhm.
are the experiences that made you think, oh, I wanted to, do my own film?
I always wanted to make my own film, even when I was at Disney and even when I was in film school. And so I was working on my own stories, which are pretty much about Filipino Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had a Fil-Am movie, which I still have, that I wrote,
Mm-hmm.
titled Moo Moo. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it did well. It was finalists at Sundance, and I got meetings and film independent. It's an indie film.
Uh-huh.
And even Mark Ruffalo at one point attached himself to direct it, which
Mm-hmm.
didn't really make sense now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had producers attached, but it is hard here because
Mm-hmm.
the diversity issue is really serious. And when I was growing up in the industry, so I spent like a year rewriting for a producer for the Latino market. So they're asking
Mm-hmm.
a good story, but there's no proven Asian audience markets. Like there's more Latino, so will you rewrite it for the Latino market? So I
Mm-hmm.
actually did. Then
Uh-huh.
I wrote in a part for a co-lead so that they could attach a white actor so that they
Mm-hmm.
could find the financing for the movie. So I did a lot of people pleasing just to try to
Mm-hmm.
be made, and then one day a couple years ago when I decided to make Basurero with Jericho Rosales,
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I needed to stop doing that. I needed to start
Yes.
making my own and um, not keep changing things for America. But again, as you know, things are shifting. So I think
Yeah.
now we can speak up and
And yeah, speaking of Jericho Rosales, so you have this film, Basurero, right? And is this your directorial debut or no? Not really?
It is, yeah,
For
because
the short film?
yeah, I mean, I made a very short film with my same cinematographer and my U.S. producer Jose
Mm-hmm.
Manuel, who both came to the Philippines to help me make this movie as well. One is from Korea and one is from here in LA. He's Puerto Rican, and
Mm-hmm.
we made a very small film in film school
Mm-hmm.
together. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we collaborated a few times in film school.
Yeah.
So, but
And
this is
so
my
who's,
yeah,
sorry.
this is
Uh,
very complicated, more complicated.
mm,
It's really a stepping stone to a bigger movie.
true. So whose concept is it to do a film movie and to get Jericho Rosales as your lead actor?
That was my idea. I didn't even know who Jericho Rosales
Oh,
was.
really?
Yeah, I was looking for an actor in the Philippines,
Uh-huh.
my movie here in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And I started watching independent films in the
Mm.
Philippines, and I saw a film called Alagua.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I saw Jericho Rosales. And I watched his acting and I was, oh, wow, he's really, really good. So
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that he was that famous. uh, so, just through my network of Filipino filmmakers, I just asked, I said, does anyone know Jericho
Uh-huh.
Rosales? I want to meet him. And so, yes, I was put in touch with some producers in the Philippines, one who's my producer on my film in the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
and also we're producing a few other things now. Um, Darlene Malimas, she has
Mm-hmm.
a net movie on Netflix called Lingua Franca right now,
Mm-hmm.
a film. Anyway, yeah, so that's how I met Echo. I just met him in a restaurant and I told him about my story, and he said, I'm in.
Mm. Actually, when I first heard that you're doing a movie, directing a movie with Jericho, I was so happy because he's really my top, well, my number one oh, no, not not Filipino actor, especially his age. He's one of the best. And it's speaking of, drama. He really carries the character so well, and it makes you believe that he's really, let's say, he's portraying like a poor guy. He can really showcase that character that he's really, poor. And I've seen a lot of his soap operas in the Philippines, and I've seen him start like when he was joining the contest when he was not an actor yet, like a celebrity yet. Yeah, he's so charming ever since. He's so charming and he's very talented because he can sing and compose a song. And
Yeah.
I think one of his songs, like Pusing Legal, is one of the, was this, how do you call that? The theme song of a soap opera. And I don't know if a movie too. So, Basurero, what is basically the story behind, not really the full story, but what is it that we or people need to watch out in this movie?
Well, Basurero is it's an independent film, so it really is a character study of a fisherman, and it is inspired by an Al Jazeera report about it was this Al Jazeera reporter. I think she was from London, was interviewing fishermen in the Philippines who were confessing that they were dumping bodies for the drug war.
Mm.
So I have the Al Jazeera clip if you'd like it.
My gosh.
And what's so crazy is
Uh-huh.
I met the Philippine producer of that news segment after I made the film.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was questioning if it was fake news, you know what I mean? Because there
Mm-hmm.
weren't a lot of articles about it. But according to my contacts with the Philippine press, the fishermen disappeared after they shared it with the international press.
Ah.
So they weren't able to get to the story themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But meeting the Philippine producer, Elama, she works for Philippine NPR now, is yeah, she had to vet the story. So
Mm-hmm.
when you do these stories, so she had to go out with the fishermen to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
they really do that. And so she went
Mm-hmm.
out with the fishermen and watched them dump the
Mm-hmm.
bodies. And she said she wasn't going to cover the drug war after that. It was just too hard for her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there's like a deeper story behind the title, because Basurero for Filipinos, it's a guy who works in trash or picks up trash or something like that.
Yes. And the
Yeah.
reason why it's titled Basurero is because that's the code word that the
Mm.
authorities and the vigilantes use. So
Mm.
they're asking them to throw the trash.
My gosh.
Yeah, and the
Huh.
trash are the
So do
bodies.
you consider this film like drama, some kind of thriller,
Yeah,
suspense?
it's interesting. Some people see it as a drama.
Uh-huh.
Some people see it as a thriller.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, there's different. It's very much just the beginning of a story in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stepping stone, short film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can't accomplish too much in a short film. It really
Mm-hmm.
is
I
for
know.
me the essence of the story, the
Of
character. So
It's so true. And one thing that I really admire about this film and about you is that you shot it entirely in the Philippines, right?
yes,
And you stayed for how long shooting just to finish
like
the whole
two
film?
years. Yeah, like little more than 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we were supposed to film it sooner. I
Mm-hmm.
raised money myself, as you
Mm-hmm.
know, from crowdfunding. So this
Mm-hmm.
film is paid by friends and family and colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
$20 here, $20 there. It was
Oh.
a lot to raise the money. It was a very, very big challenge for me to ask people for money, but I
Mm-hmm.
did. And when I raised enough money to film, I
Uh-huh.
went to the Philippines
Oh
and
my gosh.
we had a typhoon.
Uh-huh.
So when the typhoon came, we had to cancel shooting,
Mm-hmm.
and I lost 15% of my budget.
Oh
Right?
gosh.
It's crazy. And then not only that, Jericho was not available until another 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
And my cinematographer, same thing, my DP. So
Oh.
I had to wait for another 3, 4 months before we started filming. But but it was a blessing because then I was in the Philippines, right?
Mhm.
I was able
Yeah.
to really meet more journalists and more fishermen and
Mhm.
really research the story and really get it right. I had less money because I lost a
Yes.
chunk, but I had to be more creative and
Mhm.
ended up filming closer to Manila. Originally,
Mhm.
we were going to film in Balair, but I ended up filming in Cavite City.
Mhm.
And so the film feels more real now, I think, that it's in Cavite.
Yeah. But the advantage of shooting it where it actually happened, or calling it like shot in the Philippines, because I've been watching a lot of Netflix movies. Some other production or film productions are calling it like it happened in the Philippines, but because I'm Filipino, I know that that is not actually Philippines because we don't have how do you call that, the palm trees.
Oh,
Ours is coconut tree, not palms. So I said, no, it's not. So it's not realistic, and it's distracting because I know the place and it's not. So those kind of things. So
mhm.
I really admire that you took it, or you shot it where it actually happened. And the other thing is, maybe it's also a blessing that it happened, or you were able to finish the film before COVID came.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Otherwise, how, right?
Yes.
And that would be like, because this is so uncertain, we don't know how long it will last, right?
Yeah.
And another good thing is you're able to participate in so many film festivals. So could you share because I know you went to France to also participate, right? Could you share about the,
I went to Finland, not
oh,
France.
Finland. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. But we world premiered the film in Busan
Oh,
International
great.
Film Festival. Yeah, which is the one it is the biggest Asian film market,
In
in
Korea.
Korea. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and it was huge. It's a huge, huge
Wow.
festival. They have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of feature films, and they had 20 or not 20, sorry, I think they had 10, a little
Mm-hmm.
over 10 short films that they chose internationally.
Wow.
So it was filmed from Philippines, like Thailand, Myanmar, Iran, Uzbekistan. I met
Uh-huh.
filmmakers from all over Asia there. It was,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And so we were in competition. We didn't win, but we were in the competition, and of the 10 short films that were chosen. And we represented the Philippines, of course.
Yeah, I mean, even if you didn't win, but just merely representing the Philippines and participating the experience, I think it's something else.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And my actress, Althea Vega, came, and my
Oh,
producers and my DP.
wow.
Echo was in the airport ready to come, but then there was a typhoon.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it's just everyone. So, it's just the typhoon thing in Asia is real.
Yes,
Happens
yes.
all the
Oh
time.
my god.
So, yeah, but it
Hmm.
was fun. I never walked a red carpet, so that was super fun.
Wow. Just I can imagine, how was this exciting that was, how thrilling that was. I mean, so
Yeah, it was
probably
live.
overwhelming.
So
Uh-huh.
lucky I was able to go to the live
Yeah,
one.
so
Um,
surreal, right?
and then
Especially you, like, this is your directorial debut, and this is like your film that you can really call your very own, right? So, and then currently there are some film festivals going on here.
Yeah, so I was able to go to one other festival live, and that was the one in Finland.
Oh, okay.
Tampere Film Festival. It basically showcases short films, and
Mm-hmm.
a really great festival. And I'm so happy I was able to go to that live before COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
This was in February, or end of February, beginning of March. I was in
Mm-hmm.
Finland, yeah, and it was great. Those had films from all over the world. I think they had 100 films or 90, yeah,
Wow.
90 international films, and they chose out of like 4,000 films. So it was, again,
Wow.
an honor to be there and to be in competition and representing the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
But then COVID hit. We were supposed to go to Switzerland next.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all my flights were canceled. My flight to Manila was canceled. My flight,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were supposed to U.S. premiere at the San Francisco
Uh-huh.
International Film Festival next, and also COVID hit. So
Okay.
so after that, all the festivals kind of paused. They
Mm-hmm.
did not know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then even Cinemalaya, where we world Philippine premiered, it
Mm-hmm.
took them a while to figure out what to do, and then they started creating like what we're doing now,
Mm-hmm.
events online like this,
Online.
and they're just learning how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we did it online at Cinemalaya.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you want, Cinemalaya is showing it now on the Filipino channel and I Want TV. It's on now. It's showing worldwide, and you
Oh,
can
okay.
see it on your TFC I Want channel
Uh-huh.
via the Cinemalaya showcase
Mm-hmm.
until November 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in the U.S., it's showing. It just showed in New York at the Asian American International Film Festival. Right now, it's showing at the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival, which is the
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Film Festival for Asians. I think it's sponsored
Mm-hmm.
by the Academy. That's showing until the 31st, and that's just for Southern California. It's geo.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
then
once it's done here in SoCal, so you cannot watch it here now?
it's showing now. Yeah, it's showing at
Ah,
the
okay.
LA Asian Pacific Film Festival, and it's showing also at the Pacific Arts Movement San Diego Asian Film Festival until the 31st. So the San Diego one, I think, is nationwide, and the Los Angeles one is only in Southern California.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But starting next week, we'll be showing in Canada.
In Canada,
Yes,
wow.
at the Vancouver Asian
Wow.
American
So it's
Pacific
really busy, huh?
Pacific Film
In
Festival.
many
Like
film
Asian
festivals.
American. Yes. So
Uh-huh. Did Basurero win the best in cinematography, something like that?
yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
my cinematographer is amazing. We went to film school together,
Mm-hmm.
so it's always been our plan to make films together.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in Seoul. Right now, he is a very experienced lighting director, gaffer. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
he was the one who lit Okja. I don't know if you've seen that
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix, and now he's lighting that big epic film, Pachinko, I think is the title of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Korean film. It's going to be big, but he also films. He also shoots. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so he filmed it, and we really, I really wanted it to be very visual. The film. So
Yes.
yeah, it won. It's up for a bigger award now.
Mm-hmm.
Every month, this Camera Association, more for independent films.
Mm-hmm.
They choose a best cinematography short film every month,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end of the year, they're all in competition with each other. So
Congratulations on that achievement and award for Basurero. And I've seen the trailer. It's really good. I mean, if it's shot in the what's this? How do you call that? Ocean or sea because of the boats, fishermen's boats or fishermen's boats. Um, it's hard to fake it. It has to be really, or if you're going to fake it, it has to be realistic still because sometimes if the person watching has knowledge about what you're doing, so it's really hard to fake and it's distracting, the story, it's so distracting. But anyway, I have a question, Aileen. For you to be, let's say you have a movie, this Basurero, for you to be able to participate in the film festivals, do you apply for one? How do you get invitations from them? Do they screen your movie?
oh yes, it's a whole procedure. Yeah, you submit the film for consideration, and then they get so many films, these festivals, and then yeah, you kind of wait to be heard. And then once your film is in some festivals, other festivals have heard about it, and they'll approach you a lot too and ask
Ah.
as well. That happens too. My film is kind of moving towards the human rights film festivals, I think,
Mm.
because it's a story about human rights in the Philippines.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, so some of the festivals we were invited, some of them, we applied for, and
Mm.
it's a whole procedure, the film festivals.
Yeah.
The whole-
I can't really wait to see the whole film. And I stopped myself from watching before I did this interview with you because I want to be surprised. I want to be raw in my questioning, in my questions. I want to, be so, how do you call that? innocent about it, because if I've seen it, I might be biased. Oh, okay, this and that. So, but I want all the people watching us right now to see this film, not only because it's Jericho Rosales, but it's Aileen Cabiling's movie, that you did a lot for this. I've seen the whole story, how you went there, how you tried to fund for this film, and how you gathered everything together, everything. And this is so brave, because I know working in the production, especially behind the camera, it has a, entails a lot of work. It's not like, being an actor, when your work is done, you can just leave. And so I wish you, more blessings. I don't want to say good luck. I just want to wish you all the blessings being, uh, you're just, starting your journey in this. And I know that you're going to go a long way. And I hope that COVID is going to uh, walk away very soon, that he would leave soon, because there's a lot of projects for our actors, for our filmmakers like you, and I want you to keep doing your passion and write more stories and films, do more films, and we can't wait to see you, bagging the award for best director. Yeah, because this is a good move to get someone who's really an actor, because Jericho is really a passionate actor and a very talented one. So,
Yes.
anything else you want to announce, Eileen?
Well, I hope you can see the film. Uh, for Filipinos and or not, even non-Filipinos, you can see it now on ABS-CBN's I Want, the Filipino channel,
Uh huh.
through the Himalaya, and it'll be showing until November 15th. And if you want to attend the U.S. festivals, yes, it'll be showing till the end of the month
Hmm.
at the LA Asian Pacific Film Festival and the San Diego Asian Film
And
Festival.
it's online,
It's online, so you can
um,
get your tickets online.
but you
Um,
gotta get a pass to watch.
yes, you have to get a
Hmm.
pass to watch. Yes,
Hmm.
and yeah, and you can always just check our website because there will be more festivals going into next year for
Okay,
sure.
great.
I think we'll be still moving towards the East Coast area and also in Europe, and hopefully more in the Philippines. So yeah, basurerofilm.com.
Oh, okay, okay. And then we will be sharing the trailer for this movie. And yeah, I hope that you get more, you know, blessings after this, and still, because it's still ongoing. So yeah, more blessings for this movie. So thank you so much, Aileen, and I really treasure the time that you spared for us,
Okay.
because I know how busy you are.
No,
Um,
I really, really appreciate the support, and I would love as many Filipinos to be able to see this film as possible. So,
we're so proud of you. Just so you know that. Yeah. Not because you're a you're a fellow Filipino, but you're someone I know, someone I met already in person, and you're the what's this? The first cousin of my friend. So it's really an honor to have you here in my channel. So thank you so much, Eileen. You take care, and yeah, sure. I'd love to watch the whole film, and not
yes,
only the trailer. Yeah. Thank
I
you so
look
much.
forward to hearing your thoughts.
Oh, sure, sure, sure. I gotta go back to you and tell you, wow, this is an awesome movie.
I hope so. Or
Okay, so God bless you, Eileen.
thank
And
you.
yes, and to all our viewers, please do get this opportunity to watch a wonderful film by Aileen Cabiling, our very own. She's a Filipino, a Fil-Am, and it's her directorial debut, featuring Jericho Rosales, our very own Filipino actor. So it's called Basurero. So stay safe, everyone. God bless.